Good morning, students. In our previous lecture, we studied about polymer and the types of polymerization. Today, we will discuss classification of polymers. There are several ways to classify the polymer. First one is on the basis of repeating unit. As we all know, in order to make a polymer, repeating unit plays an important role. On that basis, we can classify a polymer into two categories. First one is homopolymer and second one is copolymer. Homopolymer. As the name indicates, homo means same. So, those polymer whose repeating structural units are derived from only one type of monomer are known as homopolymer. Mane, those polymer in which monomers will be of same kind molecule. For example, polythene. The monomer is ethene. By combining the large number of only ethene molecules, we will get our polymer. Next example is polypropene. The monomer is propene. We can write the propene as, and by shifting this double bond towards next molecule, we will combine all these units and we will get our desired polymer, that is the polypropene. Next is PVC. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. The monomer will be vinyl chloride. We earlier studied this in the haloalkane also. In order to make the polymer, we can write the vinyl chloride as, and we will shift the double bond towards another molecule and we will get our desired polymer. Next is our polystyrene. The monomer is styrene. I can write the styrene as, this is the benzene ring over which the group CH double bond CH2. In order to make the polymer, the various styrene molecule will join each other and we will get our desired polymer. As you see in all these examples, only one kind of monomer are used. In polythene, only ethene, propene, and in PVC, only vinyl chloride, and in polystyrene, only styrene molecule. That's why comes under the category of homopolymer. Students, please note down, these all polymer comes under the category of addition polymerization. Why? Because in order to make these polymer, the various monomer units are simply combined with each other without any loss of molecule. That's why these homopolymer are the examples of also addition polymerization. Now, let's start with copolymer. As the name indicates, co means different. So, those polymer whose repeating structural units are derived from two or more type of monomers will known as copolymer. For example, SBr. SBr means styrene butadiene rubber. As the name indicates, monomers will be, one is styrene and other is butadiene. The structure of styrene is this one and butadiene is this one. So to make polymer, we will join these two monomers and get our desired polymer. As you see, two different molecules are used as monomer, so comes under the category of copolymer. Students, please note down, as you see, these two different molecules are simply joined without any loss of molecule. So, also comes under the category of addition polymerization. But if we consider nylon 6,6, which we already done, or nylon 6,10, whose monomers are sebacic acid and hexamethylene diamine, structure are as follows. This is the sebacic acid, this is the hexamethylene diamine. As you see, two different molecules are used as monomer, so comes under the category of copolymer. But in order to make the polymer, there will be a loss of small molecule as water, so comes under the category of condensation polymer. Now, next category is on the basis of source of availability. On this basis, we are categorized into three categories. First one is the natural polymer. As the name indicates, those polymers which are obtained from the nature. For example, proteins, carbohydrates, rubber, etc. These are naturally obtained. That's why known as natural polymer. Next one is semi-synthetic polymer. As the name indicates, these are the polymers which are obtained from nature but modified under some chemical treatment are known as semi-synthetic polymer. For example, vulcanized rubber. As you see, this is the rubber which comes under the category of natural polymer, but vulcanized rubber comes under the category of semi-synthetic polymer. Last one is the synthetic polymer. These are the polymers which are purely man-made, are known as synthetic polymer. For example, polythene, PVC, etc. Next category is on the basis of structure. On that basis, there are three subcategories. First one is the linear polymer. These are the polymers in which monomers are joined together to form long straight chain are known as linear polymer. Since these polymers make a very closed packed structure, that's why they have very high melting point, high density and high tensile strength. As you can see the structure also, this is the simple diagram in which the linear chains are described. The example of linear polymers are high density polythene, PVC, nylon, etc. Students, in actual polythenes are of two types, high density polythene and low density. Out of these two, high density comes under the category of linear polymer. Next one is the branched polymer. These are the polymer which contain linear chains, but along with them some branches are also there, are known as branched polymer. Because of the branches, they do not pack well and hence will have low melting point, low density and low tensile strength. For example, low density polythene, amylopectin, glycogen, etc. As you can see the structure, linear, but in between there are some branches. Last is the cross-linked or three-dimensional polymer. These are the polymer which are initially formed from linear polymer chain, but these linear chains are three-dimensionally joined with each other. That's why comes under the category of cross-link or three-dimensional polymer. They have some specific properties like rigidity, brittleness and hardness. For example, bakelite, urea formaldehyde, melamine formaldehyde, etc. Students, this is that bakelite only which is used to make the electrical switches. Next category is on the basis of intermolecular forces. This is the topic which sometimes comes also in the board exam, so please pay attention. According to this, there are four subcategories. First one is the elastomer. These are the polymers which can be stretched and regain their original shape if stretch is released, are known as elastomer. They have very weak intermolecular forces, and the example of such type of polymers are natural rubber, synthetic rubber, etc. Next one is our fiber. These are the polymers in which intermolecular forces are strongest, and the forces which are include such as hydrogen bonding or dipole-dipole interaction are known as fiber. For example, polyamides, polyesters, etc. Next is our thermoplastic polymer. These are the polymers in which intermolecular forces are in between those of elastomer and fibers are known as thermoplastic. As the name indicates, in this polymer we use the word thermo. Thermo means heat. So there is some effect of heat on this polymer. Very special property, students. If we apply heat on this type of polymer, then they can be change their shape and also can regain their shape. For example, polythene, polystyrene, etc. Next is our thermosetting polymer. These are the polymers which are cross-linked or heavily branched molecules and on heating undergo extensive cross-linking and become infusible, that is cannot be reused again and again. That is, their shape cannot be changed by heating are known as thermosetting polymer or infusible polymer. Most commonly used example is bakelite.